Welcome to another episode of Day Sports. Again, here with my brother Tom. How the hell are you, Tom?
I'm good, Christopher. How we doing?
Yeah, really good, really good. Glad that the whole Cyclone Alfred thing has finally blown over. It's been pretty hectic last, couple of days, I guess, both in Brisbane and up where you are. Yeah, glad that's all done.
Yeah, you were stressing about having to watch the Broncos by candlelight the other night with no Wi-Fi, KO playing up deluxe. But yeah, it sort of went around you and hit where I am instead more. Well, the rain anyway.
Yeah, no, it was like, I'm very glad it got downgraded from a category 2 because, yeah, it was like a tropical low on the back end of it that came through. But it was still pretty hectic. I think it was on the Friday night. I was up having beers with one of my roommates and it was blowing a gale. Like, we were really lucky. We didn't lose power or flood or anything like that. So, like, you know, we were unscathed type of thing. But I drove over to the missus' place. I think it was Saturday night, and the amount of, like, lights that were out, trees over roads, like so much sketchy stuff. But yeah, got very lucky with it. But you're right, I was very close to sacrificing my phone, not using it the entire day and just having KO by candlelight and watching the Brisbane Broncos play the Roosters. But it all ended up all right.
Go Selwyn. Go Selwyn.
It was pretty hectic though. So yeah, I couldn't imagine if it was a stronger one. But we got lots and lots of footy to talk about this week. Plenty of bets and everything else to go over. But before we jump into all that, I want to talk about our player of the week. It was, of course, Patrick Carrigan. Very close second was Payne Haas, good. But yes, he was very good.
They were both great. I think you were more on the fence. You were more of a Payne Haas fan. You were after his dynamite performance that he let out on. What was it? Thursday night?
Yeah,
against the Chookies. But I was a big Paddy Carrigan fan. Yeah, I think definitely Carrigan tops the list for the week. Even as people might think it's biased, us being Broncos supporters. But yeah, I reckon Paddy hands down top the list there, followed by Payne, and then I reckon you'd probably agree, followed by Tommy Trbojevic.
Yeah, I like a little bit of Tommy, bruh. Honestly, after seeing Paddy and Payne Haas get into it on Thursday night, any other possibility of player of the week was completely gone out of my mind. So pretty much put lines to everyone else. But yeah, Paddy Carrigan ran 242 metres, 97 of that was post-contact, 1 try assist, 1 line break, and 3 offloads. And he's out there, I think, for like 67 minutes or something ridiculous like that.
Fucking huge numbers for 60 minutes, especially his first week starting, properly in the pack in the 8. That was mammoth.
And then
Paddy Carrigan.
You couldn't think Payne Haas could get any better, but whatever the hell they put in him, he was revving up something else. Like, he's always an absolute pain to tackle, but he was actually like...
No pun intended.
Yeah. Fuck, I'm good. But
Major pain.
Major pain. He was just taking everything almost off the back fence. Like, the pace he was hitting the ball and cutting lines as well. Wasn't just running straight. No. Like, Blake was running like a centre sometimes. We even saw him bust into the backfield, I think, off a couple balls.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got, what did he go? 165 metres, 1 try assist, 1 line break, 9 tackle breaks, 4 offloads. He didn't miss a tackle. 22 tackles, 0 misses. You don't really get much better than those two. So massive props. I think we should jump into our tips and recap of our bets over the week as well. We both went 6 for 8. So dare say it's not the worst start.
Which I think we both easily could have been. Well, I'm not sure about you. I went to change my tip.
Standard.
Last minute from the wires, yeah. Getting in my own head before kickoff going, should I change tips? Where I went to and missed out on tipping Canberra Raiders to beat the Wires. So there's one we missed out on there. And then Jermaine Sarko could fucking kick straight. We would have been home and hosed on the Dolphins game as well. But no, shut the bed there.
Yeah, and I'm not too sure how I feel about it. Like, starting off hot's great, but is it meaning that we're going to have a fucking fall off the cliff moment? I'm not too sure. But jumping into the games for a little recap, Broncos, of course, they thumped the Roosters 50-14, putting an end to their season. Lights out. See you later.
Yeah, there's the curse. There's the 50-point curse straight up, round one. Not the only team to cop it either.
No.
I've seen a few things getting around about people saying, was it because of how great Brisbane were, or did it show how poor the Roosters were? And I think there's a bit of both in it. Broncos did play a fair bit of backyard footy, so definitely not full of confidence and pumped up on that performance.
I'll take it though.
I'll take it, but I think this week, even though we're playing the Raiders, who we should be, it will be a greater test, I think, than the Chooks. But I also think that shows what sort of season the Roosters are fucking looking forward to. I think it's going to be pretty grim.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty dicey for the Roosters until Walker's back at the team, to be honest. Like we spoke about it last week, just their lack of direction, and we will get to their halves. We will get to the Roosters halves, trust me. But again, though, like the Broncos, they did look like they're playing backyard footy. That 1-2 punch of Payne Haas and Paddy Carrigan, just ridiculous. Jensen coming off the bench. Xavier Willison looked good as well. I like what I see. Kobe Hetherington out there just folding blokes. It's lovely. The attack just looks like it's got so many more options now. And I like what Corey Pakes actually brought into that hooking position, where he might have even had Renault and Hunt on both sides or either side, but even then he took it upon himself to take a scoot, get the ball off to Payne, and then got the offload, or just different little plays in that he kind of initiated, which I like to see.
Yeah, like I seen Kempy touch on it as well. 2 points they pointed out was the first one was the try he scored, backing up off going against what his set back line was, and hitting Payne, who was crashing the line. And then the other time after that, when he went the short side and they made another line break on top of that. So, yeah, it shows that he's not afraid to roll the dice and, fuck around and find out, really.
Play a little bit of eyes up footy, as they would put it.
As they would say.
Which I don't hate. And, yeah, another thing that was so good about that is Broncos seem to have a new bag of tricks, especially obviously with Ben Hunt coming in, but some of the plays that they're doing, I don't know if I've seen them throw a whole lot of that sort of shape at teams. Obviously they've got that left sweeping play that they play with Reece Walsh on repeat, but even down that right side attack, there was some stuff coming off where I'm like, they've been practicing some mean stuff with Madge there at Red Hill, because we're looking dangerous, that's for sure. A highlight for me...
Can only probably get better as well. Like, I think... Rano or Benny touched on it after the game. They said, well, we've only had a month together, so...
Enjoy that.
Over the next 9 weeks until Ezra comes back, it should be interesting.
Yeah, and there's already so much talk about what's going to happen with Ezra, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Honestly, I could sit here and fucking stroke myself over this game all week.
We need to stop talking about the Broncos.
We'll get to that. I do have a few things that I want to touch on, though. A highlight for me, though, was Dozer. Ben Hunt, he crosses over the line in his return in the Broncos colours. It was a crazy-looking try, but he managed to just pick up the ball and put it down, kick it into the crowd. I loved it.
Yeah. Lucky it wasn't at Suncorp, because that good chance that would have ended up on Caxton Street.
Someone would have found that washed up in the Brisbane River at this point. He would have belted it, but it was so good to see him get back over, and it's so dangerous having him in that side. Another half that I want to talk about, unrelated to the Broncos, Chad Townsend, he needs his kicking license taken off him and torn up, because he's lost it with the kicks. I think it was a fifth tackle. I think he thought he had a bit of Nathan Cleary about him. He's gone for this cross-field like kick chip type of thing over the top, and this thing's gone all of 3-4 metres backwards.
I don't know. Chad got his golf game mixed up with his kicking game, because he must have put some backspin or something on that, because it zipped back 4 meters past where it should have ended up. And yeah, I don't know. That was a shit show.
Yeah, it wasn't his best work. And I really do like Chad Townsend. Like, I like his podcast stuff going on. But yeah, he looks like he's heading towards hanging up the boots.
Super League.
Yeah, Super League. And I don't mean that in a mean way. It's just I think he's got other priorities on his brain.
Or Newcastle Knights.
Yeah,
give me a weathered, nearly retiring halfback. How good.
They could do with another half. And then the last thing that I wanted to touch on in that game, though, was old Brendy Piacora gone in 60 seconds.
Literally,
just easiest stint of his entire life.
Easiest pay packet of the week.
And then Go Jetski crossed over as well. I nearly put him down. I did have Ben Hunt down to score, so I'm glad that I cashed in on that one. But yeah, I guess good for the Broncos, fucking terrible for the Roosters. Really hard to take away too much in that. You never know. It could be the Roosters just being terrible this season, or the Broncos just had a fucking. That's just a preview of what we're going to see this season, but we'll see.
We were pretty hot, but I wouldn't read into it too much.
No, not yet. Next game though, Knights, they scrape by against the Tigers, winning 10-8. Now, our chat about the Tigers being 3-time wooden spoon champs did ruffle a few Tigers fans' feathers, which was great.
We upset a couple of tiggies.
Yeah. And while I respect the loyalty to your club, sometimes you just need to admit that they absolutely suck. And that's when you can look inward and start to rebuild. And I feel like they did look the tiny little bit better for maybe like 10, 15 minutes. And then they started really playing like the Tigers, like they know how to play. But
I thought we were going to chew up our words and spit them out when I checked the score. What was that? Friday? Was that Friday night? Yeah, Friday night. And I was busy. I was busy doing something, and then quickly checked the score. I was like, "Oh, footy's kicked off." Check the score. Tigers are up 8-0. I was like,
and then they did.
We're about to eat our words here, and then they done what Tigers do and lay down and get beaten.
But even then, like I watched that game, and it was one of the worst games of rugby league I've ever watched. Like it was so painful. Both of those teams performed like they're going to be in the bottom fucking 4 teams because the amount of penalties, the amount of drop ball, they couldn't get through a set. Like it was, I think Tigers missed like 50 or 60 tackles.
But
onwards and upwards, though.
I don't have much to say about them without ragging the fuck out of it. So
we'll move on.
Shut my mouth.
All right, so next one, the Rabbitohs, they beat the Finns 16-14. The Master, they beat out the Apprentice. Bit of a doozy there. We jumped on the Dolphins, so a bit disappointing from our side of things. The improvement in quality for that game compared to the previous one, though, was just ridiculous. This shit looked like State of Origin compared to the game before it.
Yeah. No, that's for sure. It was 100% what could have been game, I think, for either of those teams. They had both their chances to win and lose that game a number of times. And yeah, like I said, if Jermaine Osako could kick straight, we would be talking about tipping 7 out of 8 this week, but wasn't to be. I'm not sure whether the sort of rush trip down there, missing a couple of players and whatnot, sort of impacted it at all. But nonetheless, though, the Bunnies got the job done.
Yeah, it was just one of those things. I guess we did our tips before all that drama went on. So there was an opportunity to backflip, but I will not backflip on my tips. One takeaway that I did get away from this game, though, is Humphreys, the halfback there at the Rabbitohs, might be the most jacked half the game has ever seen.
Dude was a walking balloon, wasn't he? Jesus Christ.
That bloke has biceps to take on John Cena. That's how big that bloke's looking. He's pumped up.
But it's not just his size. Boy can play. He was very handy for the Bunnies.
He was good.
I reckon his kicking game was pretty on point as well.
He has a boot on him.
Yeah.
He was launching them.
Well, you'd hope so with fucking legs the size of fucking tree trunks. But yeah. Hope he'd be able to kick a ball.
Yeah, bloke can kick. And just quickly before we move on, Tyron Munro, he's out for like months again now. Hurt his collarbone. He can't get a break.
6 to 8 weeks with surgery. Yeah.
I feel so sorry for that bloke. Like every single time he comes back from injury, just something else happens. And I think he scored 2 tries in the first half and then was off.
Scored 2 before halftime.
Bang bang. Yeah. But next game, Doggies. They get it done against the Dargans, 28-20. Ha, Flano sucker. That's all I've got to say about that.
Sucks to suck, Flano.
Sucks to suck, bruh.
How good would have Ben Hunt been in that team?
Yeah, would have loved that. Dogs had me very worried at the end, though.
Oh, geez, they nearly pulled out a Danganane and mucked it up. Geez, they nearly fucked that up, didn't they?
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. No, Doggies were definitely in control that whole way, but yeah, they definitely tried to They definitely tried to fucking throw it in the bin.
Yeah, the doggies went to bed because far out, they nearly lost it. Manly, they nearly ended the season of the Cowboys winning 42-12. I'm surprised with two things here. One, that Tommy Bra didn't score any time. I have no idea how he didn't get there. And two, how they didn't actually put 50 on the Cowboys. The Cows held on for dear life and just looked awful that game.
Jeez, that could have been so much worse, that game, couldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it was a bit like the Broncos in the sense that everything they were doing was just coming off. Like, every play they ran turned to gold, and the Cowboys just absolutely bent over and copped it because, there was no rest for them at all at Brookvale.
Yeah, it was brutal. One player I think that's lucky to be living at this point is Tommy Dearden. Olakawatu nearly sent that man to the shadow round straight over the top of him. Tommy did bounce back pretty well, but that is the last bloke you want running at you.
Imagine that's how Leon felt when Olakawatu sent him to the shadow realm on Matty John's show the other week.
Oh, yeah.
Olakawatu, big scary man, stay away from me.
Yeah, miss me with that. One thing that was just living rent-free in my head that game, I don't know if you've seen, I'm not too sure if it was when they had Billy Birmingham on like Hello Sport or if it's just been something that the Hello Sport boys have been saying, but every single time the commentators said 4 Pines Park, I could just hear it in like Billy Birmingham's voice, 4 Pines Park. And I just couldn't help but hear it.
Love that.
It was good. And then last game for the round, Storm, they massacred the Eels 56-18, scratching out their season in the first round. Bellyache did not need to do his former apprentice like that, but he did.
Well, if you want to jump ship...
Live by the sword, die by the sword, according to Bellyache.
I don't know. Bellamy's probably just text Rolsey, if you want to mess with the ball, you'll get the horns. And he got the horns indeed. Jesus Christ, Parra got flogged.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Rocks in your head if you thought anything else was going to happen. I'm sorry. If you've gone with the Eels in the first round against Bellyache, you're getting done in the first round. And that's exactly what we saw. Multis, I'm sure you would have seen, were coming off left, right, and centre. You had some. I had some.
Oh, no, your multi didn't hit. that dirty Ryan Pappenhauser cost Cam Munster a try and you were whinging about it.
Oh, I don't know about whinging.
Yeah, it was a bit of carry on for the folks listening out there. My phone was blowing up with texts from Chris. Oh, if only Munster gets over. Nah. Yeah, mine got up. I had a few multis hit on the weekend. Only little ones, little baby ones compared to the big 10, 15 leg monsters that I'm used to putting on. But little ones have been hitting more than those ones hit last year, so I can't complain.
No, and again, the slogan this year is to bet smarter, not harder. So let me just have a look. Yeah, I was a little bit frustrated that Paps didn't give the ultimate layup to... It wasn't until actually the next day that I'd seen a replay of it because I needed Munster to score. And I see that it was Munster who could have passed it. I'm like, sick, that's fine, that's all good.
Everybody hurts.
Look, it's just one of those things. You can't win them all. But it's really hard. Well, actually, it's not hard to tell. Storm looked great, that's for sure. It's hard to gauge maybe how good or bad Parra actually were. Like Storm, they probably would have thumped most teams in the first round, but just one of those things. So,
nah. Again, Storm did look fucking hot. So, yeah, I'm definitely keen to see how we go against them, as in the Broncos.
Big
and
test.
How Penrith go against them because, I think they're going to be the benchmark this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Like so many people obviously are tipping them to be the premiers this season, and especially how they've gone last season and already looking, it's kind of hard to jump around from that. Quickly, our recap of our bets for the week, our $5 to Vegas challenge. We're still going. We're past week 2 now, both of us. Bang, bang, Reece Walsh anytime, and you got Jermaine Zarko anytime.
Yeah, Sarko cross as well. That was lovely watch.
It was good.
Too bad he couldn't kick that conversion of his, but yeah, anyhow.
You reckon I'm having a whinge about Paps not passing? Here's this bloke giving a Zarko a spray.
Oh, I've never seen him miss so many goals. I think he only missed 2 goals, but I've never seen him miss so many goals before. Dude is a fucking tremendous goal kicker, so don't know what's happening there.
Our multis of the week, yours went bang. So you had big old store multi, you had head to head, 13 plus Xavier Coates anytime, Will Warbrick anytime, Paps, bang. That's nice.
Easy watch that was.
Mine missed out by a leg. Don't know how, actually, considering I had Knights take minus 1.5. Bang. Tommy Turbo anytime in a game that there was a million tries, somehow didn't score.
Do not know how that man didn't cross the line.
But what
mystery to me, but
and
is what it is.
And to that alien music, and then just like conspiracy theories. But and then Xavier Coates anytime, bang, 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 like scored a million tries. Especially the Manly game, like the way that they started out, I thought I was home and hosed. I was like, oh, easiest thing ever. But
oh yeah, not wrong.
You get that.
Anyway, that's what it is.
All the news in the world the last, 12, 24 hours, last day and a bit, has been Dylan Brown set to sign with the Knights, well, pretty much confirmed, I guess, at this stage, signing with the Knights for 10 years worth a supposed 13 milli. Dilly bags.
Ludicrous. Knights board. Have you got fucking rocks in your head? What's going on there?
Who put Kalen Ponga's dad on the board? Because the decisions just...
Give me the biggest contract for as much money as possible. Sign him. Sign them all. Yeah.
Shout out to Randy Sports Bar. We can't stop referencing that.
Yeah, right.
Lives rent free in my vocabulary.
I reckon like 80% of our vocab between each other now is just Randy Sports Bar lines and voices in between, like, Praj and some sort of sign them all.
It's just
bit of flano. It's relentless.
It's good gear. Oh, God, I love it.
So shout out to Randell.
Please make some more videos soon, my friend. But kind of ridiculous here from the Knights. I'm like, so many people are saying stuff about Dylan Brown and like whatever, but I'm not going to sit here and bag a bloke that's just cashing in for $13 million.
It's pretty stupid if you didn't take that money.
Yeah.
The fact that you're just about to bank $13 million over the next 10 years. And I don't know how old Dill Brown is.
I think it's 25, 26.
Yeah.
Maybe
he's going to be there till the end of it. Could be. I think it's about my age, about 20.
Yeah, I'm just looking now.
Bit of deal here.
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty stupid for him not to take that money, to set himself up and his family up for a good while post-career.
That's retirement money, easy.
Bit of a no-brainer, really.
Yeah, so he's 24 dilly bags. So 34 by the end of it. Happy days. And like you said, you'd have rocks in your head not to take it. One ACL, one bad injury, bad season, like whatever. Rugby league is a very short game. We've seen, I think the average is like 49 games. Is how many?
Yeah, right.
Like that is not even 2 seasons, pretty much, is like the average career of a rugby league player. So lock that cash in.
Who was I listening to? I feel like was talking about this on Sunday. Might have been like James Hooper, James Graham, and Nathan Highmarsh, I want to say. They touched on this, how the Tigers are pushing for, and it looks like they're going to get it, a medical retirement for Justin Nolan.
Did see.
So they're going to have to pay him the remaining, I think, 2 years or year of his contract. That's about $500,000 a year, but that money comes off their salary cap. Like, they still have to pay him the money. I think they have got to find a role for him at the club. But that's the big question that they were asking as well after what's happened with Jason Tomololo on a 10-year contract. Being a forward, though, at the Cowboys, the boy's breaking down. I don't know how many years he has left on his contract.
I think a few.
But the boy's breaking down, and he can't even play out. He can't play out a full game or big minutes anymore. And they're paying him $1 million a season, probably nearly the most highly paid player at the Cowboys.
Oh yeah,
probably is.
Would be.
So that's the point that they were making. Like, what happens if Dylan Brown does what you said, or say something that happened to like Jarrell Yowie years ago, something like that happens in the first year that he's there, they're paying him out $1.3 million a season for the next 10 years. I think it's just fucking ludicrous.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And there's a few now, so that makes Jason, Big Tino, Kalen, and now will be Dilly Bags with those 10-year contracts. I'm pretty sure Kalen's on one, isn't he? 10-year? Pretty sure. It's a long one.
Don't
Maybe it was
think
5.
so. I reckon it's about 5 to 7 years or something.
It
like
was
that.
long. It might be 7 years. That does kind of ring a bell, but
I'll do a bit of Kalen Dioring.
Yeah, I'm under the impression his contract runs out either 27 or 28.
It says Ponga is already paid around 1.4 million a year on an extension signed 2 years ago and running until the end of 2027.
Mm.
So that was in 2024. So 2020. So
5.
yeah, he must have signed for a couple of years initially, and then there you go. So it's 2022. Kalen Ponga signs a 5-year deal with Newcastle Knights. So he must have already been on like a couple of year contract before that. So yeah,
end of 2027, he signs with the Roosters. Teddy retires. Bada bing, bada boom. Unlucky Dilly. You're just at the Knights by yourself, bro.
Him and Connor Watson are just going to link up again.
Yeah, it's been the plan all along, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. Knights, it's probably not the greatest move of all time. Like we spoke about it. I think you touched on it originally when we spoke about this, like trying to get those like big names. Yeah, getting the big names over there, and then kind of getting the rest of the talent to follow. But I just don't see it for the Knights.
Like even the Tigers, you know, it could be if they sort of produce something this year. I think they're going to be on the track of pulling a Gus 5-year plan, and you know, like they got Luai there, they got Appy. Like those guys aren't going to be around for too much longer. You'd think. Maybe Luai. I think Appy's getting a bit long. Hey,
Luai will be around for a while.
Yeah, I think Appy's getting a bit long in the tooth. So, you know, they're going to have Luai and Lockie Galvin together for a fair while. Terrell May's there. Looks like Tyrant May. Looks like Taylor May, all charges and stuff have been dropped. He could possibly end up there.
Or without Justin Olam.
Yeah.
And they want to play together.
That could be a possibility. So, yeah. You know, it's what they have to do, but they got to like pump out big money to attract big players, to attract other good talent. So it is what they have to do, but you know, 10 years is just fucking wild.
Yes.
Such a big contract.
Broncos, before we jump into our tips and predictions for this week, have released 2 pretty much jerseys this week. One of them is just one of the best I've seen in a very, very long time. And I do like the other one as well. But Broncos, for the International Women's Day, a bit of a collaboration they did with the Brisbane fashion label Sabo Skirt. So they're going to be wearing this one in the Women in League round. Have you seen this one, Dom?
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a different design to, you know, what some Women League jerseys are, like heavy pink, purple sort of jerseys. It is a pretty cool design. I think it's a very nice touch, and shout out to all the women in rugby league.
100%, yeah. We would not, any of us, be anywhere without them. But yeah, no, the design's pretty sick. I kind of like the pastel type of colours. Bit different. I must say, if I've got the coin, I might be copping that one, but that's pending another one because they also dropped one of, if not the hottest training kit of the year, if not ever, the throwback 2001 Brisbane Broncos jersey. That is the hottest property and the hottest jersey I've seen in a very long time. I'm going to be snagging that one, no doubt.
Gosh, it's good, isn't it?
It's good gear.
Oh, yeah, that's great gear. I'm really hoping they decide to roll that out. As much as we got a little teaser of the Aqua jersey last year, was it when they were releasing the Indigenous kit or retro kit? I can't remember. Must have been the retro kit when they were doing the release for that. We got a little teaser of the teal kit. I would not be against them rolling out that 2001 jersey as a retro kit this year because, gosh, it looks so neat and tidy, especially with the collar on it. All the lines look crisp. Like Retro Rugby League's already touched on it about how that probably is going to be the best jersey this year. Like no ifs or buts about it. So I think Broncos mad if they don't get an NRL logo on that and run out in it.
Oh, yeah, it would be nice to see. They're definitely selling it, which is nice because they've done a few different ones that they haven't put up for sale. At least we're going to be able to snag that. That as a home jersey would have been fucking unreal. Could you imagine if that was the 2025 jersey?
fuck, they'd be so much better than what we have.
Hey, I still don't mind the one that we've got. I'm very keen to see them run out there for the first time.
All that comes like flooding back to me is, I don't know if it was around one. I think I was too young to watch it, but like seeing the YouTube videos and stuff of it. But what comes flooding back to me with that 2001 jersey, because I'm pretty sure it's the same one. And I don't know if it was in round one or a trial against Penrith Panthers. Gordon Tallis just punching the life out of Ben Ross, though.
Yeah, I saw Random Stats Guy. He put up a thing about that today.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot what it was, but for whatever he captioned, but it was literally that, like round one, like it was him just Tallis flogging some bloke. So
Tallis just yowie pumping the life out of Ben Ross.
Yeah, that bloke threw about 15 punches in all of 10 seconds. It was pretty brutal, but we're going to jump into our round 2 tips and predictions. Up first, we've got the Knights versus the Finns. I'm going to be going with the Knights 1-12 myself. I'm not loving this one either way. The Knights, I'm purely going 1-12 with them because they're going to be playing at home. Both teams have players that can, I feel like, turn the game on their head. You got Ponga, you got Hammer on the Dolphins, guys like that. Which way are you leaning?
I'm going to roll the other way. I'm going to run with Finns 1-12, actually. I think they're just going to improve. I think they're going to improve on last week in what was a pretty up and down weekend or, a couple of days for them with Cyclone Alpha and whatnot around. So I'll forgive them for that loss. But I think even though going to Newcastle at home, I think they can get the job done.
Yeah, like I said, I just don't love it either way. I feel like we're going to have one of those rounds we're going to go against each other a lot and someone's going to pull the short straw. So we'll see. Sure. There's the Safidi Bowl happening as well. Daniel and Jacob Safidi going at it for the first time. So that's a little something that I'm keen to see. I was doing like my research for this tip and this video on that, going through the player profiles, and one really caught my eye. Mark Nichols. Holy fuck, if he looks anything like his picture at the moment, if you look it up, it is hilarious, but I'll be backing him for a meat pie 100%. So you know how he's usually got a beard?
Yeah.
He's got one of the seediest fucking mows I've ever seen in my life at the moment.
Is this on the NRL live?
Yeah, so if you go onto NRL.com, look at the draw, it is an all-time mo. This thing just has meat pie written all over it. They need to get that pie thrower from the fucking Dragons Doggies game to throw a pie his way because he's going to be crossing over any time. I'm putting that down, I'm telling you.
That is a bald Regan Campbell Gillard. That's what it is.
That's Randall Campbell Gillard.
Jesus Christ. That looks like your uncle's uncle. All right, let's get on him.
Get on him. Are you jumping on him too?
Right up
all right, say less. All right.
Probably not. You'll jump on him, but yeah.
Yeah,
anyway,
well,
you do you, boo.
Come back and mark my words next week. But have you got any timer for this one?
I'll be jumping on. Honestly, I don't have any time. I haven't really had time to look at it. Fuck it. Jumping on my man again, Jermaine Osako. He will cross.
Bang. Thanks for coming. All right. Next game, Waz versus Manly. This one does have a little...
Manly by 1,000.
Manly, yes. I'm getting to my Manly 13+ part, but it just has a little bit of New Zealand ambush written all over it. I'm worried a little bit, the teeniest little bit about a bit of a bounce back, but in the case that Manly just play shit, but I'm going to go with Manly 13+. Was they really need to step it up, especially back home. It's going to be their chance to do that in front of a sold-out crowd, I'm sure. But Manly last week, they just looked elite. When they are playing like last week, I reckon out of all the teams, when they're on, they play the most backyard footy. Like, they're so much fun to watch.
Yeah, they're good. They're good fun to watch. For a team that I absolutely despise growing up, I'm a fan of what they do now. I think that was just
you've been brainwashed.
Whatnot, so on. I fucking hated Manly, but I've been brainwashed by Tom and Eddie. Definitely turned to leave, but I just don't think Waz have it in them to even come close to Manly after what they put on last week. I think they're going to be a genuine top 4 contender this year, Manly, as long as everyone stays fit, i.e. Tom.
We're looking at you, Tommy.
So, yeah, I'll be having Manly of the 13 plus variety with the Tom Trbojevic anytime sprinkled in there.
Yeah, I'm also going to be jumping on Tommy Bra anytime. Didn't get over last week miraculously, so I feel like he's going to get over this week. How did you get Luke Metcalf in your fantasy or Supercoach side at all?
No.
I had him. I'm hanging on to him. I'm not going to rage trade him. He's been relegated to the bench, though. No points coming from him, but I'm going to give him another chance to prove himself.
That dude would have found his way out of my team ASAP.
Nah,
I've been chopping it. Gosh, I've been trying to trade my heart out with so many injuries in my team.
The head-to-head league. So I've never played Supercoach before, right? I've always been a fantasy man. But then I decided to jump in a little bit of Supercoach action. And Big Les's league, he's got his own little competition going on. So I thought, oh, yeah, jump on here. I went head-to-head with Big Les, put him to the sword. Did him in by about 150 points, I'd like to say.
Thanks for coming.
I was a little bit worried there. He really pulled out ahead and then just destroyed. So come at me, bruh. Next game, Penrith versus the Roosters. Easy one for me. Panthers, they now own CommBank Stadium. That is now their stadium, hands down. I'm going with the Riff 13 plus. Roosters, they're going to get put to the sword, I feel, if they play anything like last week. I guess it's going to be hard to gauge, but it's not going to get any better playing up against Penrith. To'o, he's back in there, so even more class. And, yeah, not liking this for the Roosters.
No, I don't have much to say about this, really. Penrith were far too... I'm not going to say far too classy for the Sharkies, but I think they're definitely still a step above most teams in the competition. I think this is going to be another rugby league thrashing, and I'll be taking Penrith 13 plus Toto anytime. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm just because I missed out on him when they were over in Vegas, I'm going to go with Casey McLean anytime. I think he might potentially score a hat trick. I might even get on that Casey McLean for a hat trick because that right edge side for the Roosters is dismal in comparison to the other side, and they tend to go down that left side in the for the Penrith Panthers. So. Yeah, Case McLean for 3 might be a good option. Next one.
Jeez, huge bet.
Yeah, why not? Dragons versus the Rabbitohs. I'm going to go with the Dragons 1-12. This is another game that I almost don't want to touch with 10-foot pole. I can see the Dragons starting to rack up a little bit of that win-loss sort of pattern that they had last week going on.
I knew you were going to touch on the win-loss method from last season. So I'll be jumping on... who are they playing?
Dragons, Rabbitohs.
I'll be jumping on the Rabbitohs. Jesus Christ. I think the Bunnies did enough last week to impress me, so I'll be jumping on those boys 1-12. And I will be having... Actually, I'm going to backflip on this whole situation after looking at this team list. So I'm going to backflip the fucking life out of this. And all right, I'll be backing you there as well, Chris. I'll be jumping on the Dargans 1-12. And I'm going to throw in a little smoky, a little bit of something in this bet. Or tip.
It's a tip, mate.
I thought he was, not bet, tip. Because I thought this dude was actually quite impressive last week. And that's going to be Jacob Little. I'll be jumping on him anytime off the bench.
Fuck, he was like a rabbit out of a box when he took off last week.
He was, wasn't he? So... tap and go. See you later, boys. So I don't know. I was a little bit impressed by it last week, so I'm going to go Jacob Little anytime.
Yeah,
that's haymaker. I'm just clutching at straws there. Really,
he's lost at sea.
Not haymaker, Hail Mary. That's what I was supposed to say.
Same shit. I like them at home in the gong, but I still feel like it's a flip of the coin game. All right, next one. We got the Cowboys versus the Sharpies. Cows at home, I feel like is one of the only things that's actually going for them. They were just about scratched out of the comp last week by Manly. Massive letdown for a lot of people. Cows are just rocks and diamonds a lot of the time. I feel like Sharks really could put a big total on them this week. Cowboys desperately need to bounce back.
Yeah. They need to do something because it was very unimpressive what happened last week to them and down in Manly. After the performance that Sharks put on against Penrith, I think they're just going to be too far out of reach for what the Cows can produce this year. So I'll be taking the Sharks 13 plus. and I'll be having Jesse Ramian anytime.
I like it. I'm also going 13 plus and having Ronnie Ronaldo to cross any time because that bloke loves to score a try. Jeremiah Nanai as well has been dropped. He's been sent back to Queensland Cup to work on his defence, and Kylo O'Donnell comes in. No fucking clue who that is. Bit of a fall from grace for Nanai. He's been kind of touted for his defence-like issues in the last probably couple seasons. Obviously, lead and attack, like bloke can run a line and leap through the air, something different. But yeah, pretty rough for old Nanai.
I just hope he doesn't turn into what sort of Dane Gay guy sort of rolled into. I think rolling into more than subpar at the club level, but rolling out a performance and a half every year for Queensland State of Origin. So hopefully he can, get his shit worked out and cement his spot back in that Cowboys side.
Yeah, it could just be a little bit of a kick up the arse as well for him to kind of lift his game. We're going to try not to harp too much about this next one. We got Big Milk versus the Brisbane Broncos. Like you touched on earlier, I feel like this is going to be a much tougher task for the Broncos. In Canberra, Sticky's going to have the boys revving up big time, and they just always have that dog in them. The bloody Canberra Raiders. They're a physical, gritty team. So I think this is going to be a big challenge in comparison and still a pretty tough game.
Because who are they missing? They've got Tarpany out, Xavier Savage out, don't they? So I'm not going to touch on it. Going to do a bobcatter. I'm not going to speak on it. But Broncos by a fucking heap. Selling Cobbo anytime.
Yeah, and everything that I was saying with Tarpany and Savage out, one of the best forwards and one of the best try scorers that they have in meat eaters in Savage, I'm also going to be going Broncos 13 plus, Throbo anytime. I feel like if we can shut down that offload, that's going to make a big difference. That will be fine. And if we play anything like last week, it could be an absolute pumping. So yes, Broncos 13 plus. Alrighty, what are we? Second last game. Oh, this one's a good one. Spoon Bowl rematch, Eels versus Tigers. Where are we seeing this?
Gosh.
It's at the Penrith home ground, I believe.
Penrith?
Yeah, Combank Stadium.
Combank. Yeah, had me going. I think I'm just going to have to jump on the Tigers here. I think that halves pairing's a little bit more in check than what Parra's got going on until Moses gets back. Yeah, I think it's going to be a tight one, though. Again, Riles could put a rocket at them and it could go either way. I think this is going to be another game that's just going to go either way. To all those Tigers supporters out there in the comments last week, bashing us for not backing your team and letting everyone know that they're the 3-time wooden spooners, I'll be jumping on your team 1 to 12, and I'll be having Taruva anytime as well, please.
I like it, and I might regret this. I like Tigers a lot more, though, with Buller and Appy coming back into that side. I feel like Appy's really going to get them moving forward, especially the way like Terrell May and that was playing. Like I can see them just like running through the middle, something chronic. Eels all at sea as well after getting flogged by the Storm. I feel like they're going to have a pretty tough trot for the next little bit. So much noise around Para with everything that we discussed with Dylan Brown going on. And Tigers did look that tiniest little bit better. Galvin and Law as well, they look so dangerous. So I'm going to be going on them 1 to 12 Buller anytime. But you know what I watched for the majority of the weekend while I was pretty much locked inside with the Cyclone? I pretty much indulged in rugby league and I got balls deep with WWE. And I'm so close to just cutting a big promo on the Tigers right now and just saying how much they suck. But we're not going to do it, but be careful because there's going to come a time I'm gonna get around that. But last game for the round, I like this one though. Doggies versus the Titans. First one for the Titans. Good to see Big Tino's going to be back in the side. They had to train down in Sydney because their bloody fields were completely flooded there in the Gold Coast, like literally water pretty much over crossbar type of action.
Yeah, it was. Literally was. Water was over the crossbar, so don't think too much football will be happening on those fields for a minute, but yeah, shout out to Titans and all the people on the Gold Coast and the people affected by this fucking cyclone because it hasn't been a good go for anyone.
Nah, it's been a shit show. One of the funnier things that I saw about the Gold Coast Titans and that cyclone over the weekend was an article that the Batuta Advocate put up, being like, Alfred's turned down after Big Tino's gone down for a look at the Gold Coast beach.
Yeah, after Tino's shown up for a look down the beach. Yeah, that was crazy.
I thought that was pretty funny, but yeah, glad to see Tino's going to be back out there again. Doggies, though, it is their first home game at Belmore there, so that's going to be massive. The crowd is going to be fucking well and truly behind them. I feel like it's going to be rocks and diamonds for the Titans, though. They have potential to put on like huge points. They've got some weapons in that side.
Yeah. There's some guns. There's some guns in that team, but I think it's a massive task, especially for a team who just had the bye and they're going to be rolling into round 1 at Belmore. I think it's a huge ask to get the job done. As much as I want to tip the Titans, I probably will next week. Don't know who they're playing, but I'll probably tip them anyway. I'm just going to have to jump on the Doggies. Just got to go on the Dogs 1-12, I think. I think it will be a close game, but it's definitely one of those things like the Doggies do just turn up when it's at Belmore. So, yeah, I'll be taking the Dogs 1-12, and I'm going to jump on my man who didn't salute for me last week, Bronson Cherry, across again.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's going to be close as well. I'm going Dogs 1-12 and big Viliami kick out anytime. He's going to run over someone, I'm telling you. He's going to get it done. Alrighty. Now, leads us straight into our $5 Bet to Vegas challenge. So, again, if you missed it last week, we're trying to turn $5 10 times over, looking for roughly $2 odds to go all the way to Vegas next season. We've got through the first 2 weeks. We've gone bang, bang. So, we're on to week 3. Value is starting to get way harder to find.
Yeah,
especially this week. Sure. It's pretty rough. But I have gone with, it's starting to get rough when you're having to put 2 try scorers in because you're unsure of everything else. I've gone with Reece Walsh and Suan Throbo anytime. I believe it was paying a nice little $2.14 on an orange betting agency. I'd need to double check the odds, but we'll post that on Instagram any day. Anyway, obviously odds and all that sort of jazz can change because it's recorded on Tuesday. But that's what I'm going to be going with. Tom, what do you got?
You're just gonna have to give me a second.
Computer's loaded.
I just thought of something else that could work. That's not gonna work. Ah, fuck it. Oh, fuck off Penrith because Penrith there is $1.06. So I was like, how can I? How can I add that in there? It's like, how can I add that in there to help me? But it's not going to help me at all. I'll be jumping on, boys, the Broncos. Sportsbet. Mysterious Blue betting agency has the line at minus 12.5 of the Broncos. I think I've managed to find enough value with selling Cobbo anytime. And also on the pick your own line, I'll be going a Broncos minus 6.5 on the line as well. That's going to give us $2. That's going to give us $2.15 odds, which I think is very generous. 6.5 and a sell one try. I think that's money for jam right there. Famous last words, but I think that's just going to get the job done, really.
Yeah, I really do like that. I'm not too sure how you've conjured that out of nothing, actually, because that's a whole lot less to happen than what I've got. But at the same time, looking at...
Jeez, I'm in scheming. Yeah.
Looking at the track record, the last couple times, both Cobbo and Walsh have crossed over, which I like. And if they play anything like last week and what I think they're going to play like, I think we're in for a good shot. So that is $20 basically each that we're putting on those. So we'll end up with about 40 odd if all goes to plan. Alrighty, multi the week. I really want to knock one of these over since you got one last week. We've been pretty close every week. I'm going with Tommy Brah to score anytime because, again, I don't know how we missed out last week. Casey McLean because they're going to thrash the Roosters, and Suan Cobbo is just getting a pounding this week. I'm going to be backing him. This one, it's not going to get you into retirement, but it might buy you some jam. Put all those together and you're getting $3.67 on a mysterious blue betting agency. So that's my multi the week.
Might buy you some jam. What the fuck? Great chat, that. All right.
What do you got?
I've been going pretty safe for all my bets that you have seen and haven't seen for the last few weeks. Going to live a little bit on the edge this week. We got $10.01 odds on what I would say is a lock.
Famous last words.
But Jesus Christ, there's a bit to happen. We're going to be running with Penrith in the head-to-head market with Brian To'o across any time. We got Manly head-to-head, Tommy Trbojevic, which I'm worried about anytime. We have the Brisbane Broncos -6.5 on the line with Selwyn Cobbo. That's getting thrown in there after our bet to Vegas odds as well. And then finally, to top it off, we've got the Cronulla Sharks on the head-to-head. All those combined in a nice little multi wrapped up together is going to give you $10 one odds.
There's a lot of moving parts in there.
There's a lot happening, but I'm liking it.
That bet's so long you got to actually scroll down to see the rest of who's in the bloody multi. Jesus. I don't hate it. There's just a lot. So we'll see how those go. We'll post those on the Instagram and we'll post it up if we hit as well. So follow if you're brave enough. I'd be chasing mine because again, not going to get you into retirement, but might go all right. Yours a little bit more gusto to it, but I like it. Now, final thing to finish us off for this episode. If this player was a beer, Big Tino, what did you got?
Oh, Big Tino. I'm going to have to roll Tino in as being not a beer, but a rum. And if he is a rum, it's going to be a Bundaberg rum because Tino just oozes. Coming from Widgie, for those out there who don't know, it's just outside Gympie. So Tino come from Gympie, has a bit of country fuck around and find out in him, as reported by the Batuta Advocate. So I feel like Bundy rum and fuck around and finding out goes hand in hand. So Big Tino, the bushels would have to be Bundaberg rum.
Yeah, I do like that for Big Tino. Somebody last week said Big Corey Horsburgh definitely should have been Bundy.
Yes, St. Corey should have been Bundy rum, yeah.
Which I don't hate either. For myself, I'm going to go this week with the beer since I deviated a little bit last week. I'm going to go that Big Tino is a big tallie of Great Northern because that stuff is from the Sunshine State. The beer from up here, just like Tino.
And beer from up here.
Everyone loves it. A little bit of fuck around, find out juice as well, I think, if anything. So, yeah, Tino could probably drink a carton and a half of those and, still go out there and play footy. So no stress, no worries.
Still get behind the wheel and blow 0.05.
Alrighty, well, that's pretty much us for this week. Let us know in the comments who you're going to be back and what your multis are, all that sort of jazz. I forgot to say it, but like, subscribe. Probably no one's even made it this far to listen to this point, but like, subscribe, follow all the social media. Hopefully someone has made it. If you did change your mind, happy days. That's pretty much us. Round 2. Let's go. Catch you guys next week.
See you next week.